There is nothing as joyful as having things return to normal after it has been rough. This kind of joy that can make you forget the pains and troubles of the past. And for millions of people living with conditions like type 2 diabetes, normal can feel like the sweetest thing ever. Just look at this. Normal nights without all the frequent urination that usually happen. For some people, it could be normal mornings without all the finger pricks just to check glucose. And for others, it could be something like normal day without excessive hunger and thirst that usually follow. Just normal energy. And you know the best part of all these things we are seeing? That this can be achieved with just simple but deliberate healthy habits. All of this. And that's why type 2 diabetes seems quite much easier to manage than any other type. I remember that in our previous video, we made mention of something. We said in type 2 diabetes, the body stops responding to the actions of insulin. And when this response is stopped, sugar starts building up in the blood. I remember that the major causes of this insulin resistance include things like poor dieting, physical inactivity, excess fats. Other things can include too much stress, old age, and gene. So the question now is, can this type 2 diabetes be reversed? Can it be brought back to normal? And the answer is yes. In many cases, especially in adults, it can be returned to what is called remission. Now, remission in this case is a situation whereby high sugar level is brought back to normal state or near normal levels, so that you don't need to be taking all the diabetic drugs, at least for a while. There's something you should note here. Remission is different from permanent cure. While you may have it controlled and brought back to normal, if you go back to those things that caused the whole thing to be abnormal in the first place, everything will just... And that's why doctors are usually very careful in selecting the words they use. They will tell you it's a remission state, not permanent cure. Now, study has shown that in many cases, in many adult cases where this type 2 diabetes is noticed on time, is diagnosed very early enough, remission can be achieved through some certain habits. And one of those habits is good dieting. Now, diet is very strong in trying to control blood sugar level. While some foods can cause sugar spikes, there are other ones that can help to regulate the way they are in the system, maintaining a very stable and normal state. And having this at the back of your mind will help you to go for those ones less in carbohydrate and rich in fibers. Things like vegetable, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats, nuts, and things like that, because these ones are capable of slowing down the rate at which this glucose is assimilated inside the body, thereby reducing cravings for those ones that are not healthy. And even if you're not able to achieve this, portion control and crash dieting can be the best way to have a good remission state in type 2 diabetes. And by this I mean breaking down the amount of food you take into smaller pieces and taking them gradually so that you regulate the amount of sugar that spikes each time you have your meal. Now, we have to be honest here. You might not be able to achieve much if you have excess fat. So burning excess fat in your body, especially those ones at the belly, can be a very powerful way to achieving remission in type 2 diabetes. This is because excess fat, especially around the abdomen, causes insulin resistance. Even if it's a little, the smallest part that you're able to burn, this can go a whole long way to helping you maintain a stable sugar level through improved insulin sensitivity. And by this, I don't mean you should just starve yourself to death. No, simple things like reducing the amount of sugary drinks you take, less amount of processed food and snacks can go a whole long way to help you in this case. But then if you want to achieve something very serious, you should add exercise to the mix. Exercise is very important in trying to achieve a balanced sugar level in the system, especially in trying to achieve insulin sensitivity. Now, when muscles are activated, especially during exercises, they assimilate more sugar in the system, thereby reducing the amount you have circulating. And so when that happens, it helps to make this work of coming back to remission very easier. And by this, I don't mean you have to be a professional athlete or get registered in a gym to achieve this. You can just start by taking a walk, jogging, or home workouts. All these things can help a lot. It's not just about the intensity of the exercise, but more about the consistency of what you are doing. In case you don't know, this is Healthy Nigeria, where we get to bring you trusted and timely health tips that will help you to stay healthy. It's not just that. You are going to be getting detailed explanations of various laboratory investigations for proper diagnosis. you have to subscribe to this channel to get to enjoy all these benefits. Now, I need to let you know that stress alone can mess up all those things you are trying to achieve if you don't handle it very well. We've mentioned it countless times that stress has a way of releasing a hormone known as cortisol, which can also help in increasing the amount of sugar level in your system. So if you don't handle stress very well, you are also not going to achieve this remission. And if the stress becomes more extreme, it makes it very harder to control sugar in type 2 diabetes. But then there's a good news. Activities like meditation, deep breathing, yoga, and muscle stretching, these things can help you a lot to lessen the stress in your body. There's no way we'll talk about reducing stress without mentioning having enough sleep. Sleep is very important because it helps to maintain normal hormonal balance and regulate sugar in your body. So when you don't get enough sleep, there's still going to be high chances of insulin resistance. Now the next question becomes, is this remission achievable in everybody? There's no better way to say this. The answer is no. And this is not because all we've been mentioning is not working, but because there are other factors that can play against the outcome of whatever thing you're going to achieve. Two of these factors are the time of diagnosis and the genetic makeup of the person in question. The truth remains that it's easier to bring back type 2 diabetes to remission if it's diagnosed early enough. It's easier to manage it and handle at that time. But when it's diagnosed very late, it becomes harder because at that time it must have damaged some other things in the body. And again, there are some genetic makeups that can make it very hard to lose excess fat, especially those around the abdomen. And so when you're not able to lose excess fat, it becomes extremely difficult to achieve this remission state we are talking about. However, even if you are not able to achieve complete remission states, following all these steps can also help you to regulate your sugar and help to reduce the chances of complications that arise from diabetes. Type 2 diabetes can be very serious, but then there are also chances of bringing things back to normal. So the earlier you get diagnosed, the better chances for you to come back to remission states. And also, the earlier you start following all this and taking serious all these habits, the better chances for you. Please, even if you think this video is not for you, ensure you share it so that it will get to other people that might need it. And by so doing, you get to help a whole lot of people who might need the information contained in this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching to this end. I hope to see you again in the next video.